Hey humanity, so this video is Crystalline and why, and a little explanation on why we've chosen to create the medicine and the healing that we've bought through Epolence, our crystal elixir company, through the crystalline realm, and what its relevance is to us as a humanity ascending, especially as we walk within the golden age. So the best explanation for this I've received a few times in a few different ways, and it resonated very deeply with me, and I'll share it and hope that it makes sense in the same way to you all. So my teacher shared with me, and she received the teaching from a teacher of hers, that all the crystals are made up of sacred geometrical forms. Now don't quote me, but I think that there's 6 to 7 fundamental sacred geometrical forms that are found within the crystalline realm. And these geometries are also found within our human form and within our light bodies and with our higher frameworks. And what I mean by higher frameworks is the light fields and light bodies that make up our ancient, original, galactic healing forms. And they match with the sacred geometry that's found within the crystal elixirs and within the crystals themselves. Why is that important? A lot of us, as we have journeyed here as a humanity, as a star nations, we've experienced suffering. We've experienced separation, not only in our physical forms as souls, but as mental and emotional beings as well. And we're living in a time where all that has been separate now needs to come back together. We're living in a time of unity consciousness. And the crystals and the crystalline realm hold the perfection of the sacred geometrical forms in a way that we, having gone through separation and suffering, haven't been able to in some ways. And that's how we experience the suffering, because the perfection that we are has been distorted. And from that, the sacred geometrical forms, when reflected in perfection back to us, can hold a space for us to once more come into wholeness and to heal from the separation that causes us suffering, so that we don't suffer anymore, which in and of itself is quite profound. The water acts as a really, really beautiful conduit for the elixirs, and we use distilled water so it can hold the vibratory sequences that the crystals share. Water is very beautiful in the way that it can hold messages, it can hold information, and it's able to stabilize the sacred geometry, as well as all other messages that the crystals wish to share with us of pure love and higher consciousness. It also allows, within the water, a space for us to come into easier access of the vibration, as we ourselves are made up of such a high percentage of water content. The water within us can then more easily come into harmonious being and the wisdom and truth that the crystals share with it. This allows our frequency to match and to be held, not only by the fluid, but the crystal forms themselves as expressed through the fluid. And we're able to match this higher frequency until we can, and sequence, until we can come into our own, and it is held and vibrated fully throughout our own energetic forms. This allows us to come into the vastness of the knowing that of all that is, through our own sacred frameworks, through our own etherical and energetic patterns, and this allows us to be more and more deeply, as we continue to expand, living in a space of harmonious peace and love. The crystals themselves and the crystalline realm themselves have the capacity within them to help us to create all things that we wish to achieve as immortal beings and souls of true love's freedom. And with that, I thank them immensely. And I also thank the element of water, which has allowed everything to be held. And I thank you for your time and space. And I'll follow with 12 videos of each of our elixirs. And I think that's that. Love, Victoria.